Hello you, and welcome to Pentiment number 24. Starting off right where we left off last time, we are just going to write some letters to Esther and to the Archdeacon named Jacob something. Alright, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon, Jacob Estler, and see if he can tell me about the revolt, because that is what we have left to depict on the mural. We have depicted the early history of Tassing. We have depicted the later history of Tassing. And now we're gonna depict the present history of Tassing, which is the revolt. So let's see. I'll write a letter to Esther too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. Because she does want to have everything completed before Christmas, the Christmas celebration, and it is currently November. Late November, I think it's November 20th or 21st or something like that. So, getting the letter out and then for them to write back and getting the letters back in less than a month, that is a tight schedule, timetable, deadline. Jacob Estler, formerly Archdeacon of Freising. My name is Magdalene Druckery. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kersau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? In particular, do you remember anything about this? Someone writing notes to provoke the killer? Did you see any evidence that might suggest there was some sort of larger conspiracy at work? Do you have any reason to doubt the conclusion of the case? No, let's not question his decision. That's bound to get on his bad side immediately. Who's this little woman writing to me, questioning if the conclusion I drew has any doubts in it? Takes the letter and just crumples it up and throws it into the fire. Let's not do that. I'm just guessing that's what he would do. Maybe he would just be... Maybe he would just give a snide reply, but I'm not gonna chance it. Notes though, because we have seen notes. We had a note, we got a note, probably directed to our father Klaus at the workshop that just said, stop. And then he got attacked and brain damaged, and he's probably going to die. Unfortunately. In particular, do you remember anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? Join, join, join. A little bit direct, we could have just asked about a larger conspiracy, but let's just go straight to the heart of the case. More have appeared in Tassing in subsequent years, seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Druckery. That is one letter done. Let's get to Esther's letter. Dearest Esther, I hope that you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simon. And Alicia too, of course. And your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect that winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You've said that it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Well, it's not that far north, but sure. Also, wait. Actually, north? Is Prague to the north of Tassing? I don't quite exactly remember where Prague is. And north would be colder, not warmer. Whatever. Dad's condition is so much worse and he's in so much pain. Dr. Stolz has been, well, he's a useless asshole. Only God knows why he is such a bitter old man, but he has neglected Dad almost entirely. Some days he doesn't show up, and even if he does, he just snaps instructions at me and rushes off. I just wish I understood why. I worry about Dad. I have asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much we can do alone. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Well, at least you know that. Also, I just noticed you don't actually see it. Let me just do this quick. See? There's a there's a note on my bed. Huh? No, let me just get this into the right position again. I should have just gone into another view, but no, I was not smart enough. There. Sorry about that. But there's a note on my bed. I didn't see that until now. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. Note! I keep seeing this figure around town. We do. One in the salt mine and one in the abbey. I don't think it's the same person. Because again, salt mine, manly beard, only guy we've seen with that kind of beard, smoky. Figure up in the abbey needs to be able to paint if it is actually the person who painted over the mural, the Dance of Death mural thingamajig in the chapter house. Must have access to paint, must be able to paint, and have access to the abbeys. Probably Gertrude. After I explained the mines to... Explored. Not explained. After I explored the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the abbey ruins. But Magdalene is... assuming it's the same person. Should I also assume it's the same person then? Okay. I'm going to take that and put it to the side of my thinking it's two people. So either two people or the same person. Yes, those are basically the only options we have. But this could also be the game just throwing me a red herring. And just, oh, it's just one person. And then it turns out to be two. I'm gonna keep two people, one person. No one else in Tassing has seen anything, but some of the nuns say they have seen ghosts. It's the strangest thing. Given me a fright a few times already. All of 2 times. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. I'll just read this note on my bed and see what it says. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas or soon after. Before the new year, at least. Or it all depends on if my letter to Jacob comes back before Christmas. Then perhaps at long last I shall be able to visit you and meet this Simon. Anyway, I fear that this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late and reported worsening snows through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simon. Yours always, Magda. Okay, so we sat for 2 hours and wrote letters. That is fine. There's a note there, right to Esther. I wrote a letter to Esther. I'm worried this might be the last one I'll be able to send before snow closes the passes. Hopefully I'll get a response before spring at least, It's getting late. I should get some sleep. And I wrote to Jacob Estler, the archdeacon who investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder back in 1518. Maybe he has some information that could help me understand the events that led up to the revolt. So you're not expecting to get a reply back and... Huh, so you're just writing him for information, not for something that could be help with the mural. Okay. Letter. How did this get here? What's it say? Stop. Here we go again. Last time we saw this note, Klaus was attacked. This is just like the note Dad found, but he didn't because I found it. Because I went to the workshop, so I am the one who found it. Both of these are... We don't know, and yes. Who's doing this? I have a feeling I'm going to find out sooner or later, unless they attack you from behind and kill you. I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. But he's been so weak, I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. Ooh, if you wait for too long, you're not gonna have any time at all. If we go out, are we gonna see someone sneaking around? No. Okay. Also, lock your goddamn doors. Clean up later, mural is more important. Nope, he just says hello. I hope you're locking your door. I mean, I've seen other doors locked, so hopefully you can also lock your door, because I don't want to be smacked over the head while I'm asleep. And we've already done a... like this. See? Locked. We have already done a tour of the town before we went to write some letters. Sure, that was 2 hours ago, but I don't think anything has changed, so we are gonna go to sleep. And last time we did this and wrote letters, we jumped forward in time about a month, so I guess we're gonna do the same now. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Go to sleep. Good night, Magda. Sorry. If it's such a harsh winter, you should actually sleep beneath the covers. Woo wee 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 wee. 14 days? 14 days, 2 weeks. Ish. Oh, the Reichspose. Oh, and we are dressed a little bit better, but we're still... our arms are still bare, so that's gonna be cold as shit. Mistress Druckerin, only one letter for you today. Oh? From Jacob? The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The very same to you. Who is it from? Ah, a reply from Jacob Estler. There we are, let's see. Mistress Druckerin, I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. Oh, are you a Protestant? Or just not doing any work in relation to the church? If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. Okay, so you're a Protestant. Gotcha. The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kiersau was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. He keeps coming back, but that's because he has had quite the impact. Impact, not impact, but impact on Tursing. And we did mention the notes to you, yes. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now, after so many years, must mean that their author is still alive. Oh, what was it Andreas called him? Not Puppet Master. Thread something. Thread puller? Was it thread puller? Thread puller. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I hope he doesn't live in the sewers and likes balloons. I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. Oh, it's not really sleeping. We got a note 2 weeks ago. I hope that this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. Please give me a moment. Much better. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said that I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the rat house then. Still more work to be done. Or we go around and talk to your neighbors. Or we go back to the rat house and do stuff. Okay. Christmas Eve? Sure. December with a Z? Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural and now I can start the final part today. I promise I will get it done. Oh, Magdalene, I am proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perstenlauf. Persta was the pagan goddess, so... Perstenlauf, a Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time in which townsfolk dress as Persten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. There's always next year. Oh, close. Are you even going to survive until the new year? This sucks. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said that he would come by again today, but I don't trust that asshole, so he probably won't be here. Fine. I'm just fine. Are you sure? Do you need anything? Ah, no, no. Go on. I am all right. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It is Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note. All the way back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Make up your mind. Did your dad find it or did you find it? Because one moment she says that dad found it, and the next moment she says that she found it. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene, Knock, knock, knock. Oh god, that must be Utz. He said he would drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I would like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later, though? Stoic nod. I'll be back later. There probably won't be a later. I'm getting that feeling that there won't be a later. Good. Take care of yourself out there, won't you? Go outside. The revolt of 1525. Hello, Magdalene. I need to get to work on the last part of the mural, but Utz said he would stop by this morning. I should go out to meet him. I'm still not gonna marry him. Unless he does something really good. Really heroic. Really cool. Still as messy as ever. Because you never clean it up. That is 100% on you, dear Magdalene. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Is it Utz? It is Utz. Morning, Magdalene. Thank you for using my name. Morning, Utz. Cold out, isn't it? Not freezing. Makes me envy Nico, able to stay inside all day. Even Endris has his forge to keep him warm. Anyway, here, I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Utz. You're welcome. So, how's your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I will do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the Peasants' Revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mom too. You might be able to ask them. Waclav and Matilda are the only two Benedictines left living in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said that she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she would talk about it. Well, it's your project, Magdalene. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old Archdeacon about it too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? The man who came to Tassing for the Baron Rothvogel's murder. What about him? He was the judge for the Baron's murder. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how that old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling all right? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this whole mural project is getting to you. You know, I need to get to the bottom of this. There's something more to all of this. I know it in my bones. Well, if you're sure, I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. Just don't give me your wood. See you later, Mags. Magdalene. Ertz is right. I should start talking to people around town. I'd better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Perstenlauf. Remembering the revolt. Ertz had some good suggestions for my investigation. Many of the participants and witnesses of the peasant revolt are still alive in Tassing. Except for all the ones who died, of course. I should speak with Agnes Steinauerin about what she remembers. Clara's husband was right in the middle of everything. I should talk to her as well. There are probably a lot of people gathering at the Golden Hand to prepare for the Christmas feast. Some of them must have memories about what happened. And also Washlav and Matilda, so I'm going to go to them first. Because they are right here. And everything is covered in snow. I love it. I love snow. I love winter. I love snow. There are a few things that are so calm and peaceful and tranquil, and other words for relaxing and just beautiful and soul nourishing for me, as to walk around in winter when deep winter, when it gets dark around. It starts to get dark almost 3:30, around 4 in the afternoon, and then just walk around and see all the lights and everyone's windows, the stars being up, the advent candle holders, whatever the hell you want to call them, and everything being cold and snow everywhere. Unfortunately, we don't get that much snow anymore. Used to be better. Way back when. We used to have way more snow. That's for sure. That's one time we can actually say it was better before, in the olden days. Because we had more snow. Maybe not more as... but yeah, more. We had snow more often. Definitely. For sure. I remember weeks of snow. The past few years we've not had that. Alright, so what did we say? Clara and Agnes. Clara's up at the... crap. Maps? Golden Hand Inn. Oh, we're at the Gertner farm where we're supposed to be. Where we're supposed to be. Ah, Clara and Peter, right? With an Agnes and Lucky. Okay, so I went the right way. Subconsciously, I guess. Went the right way without knowing I went the right way. Big Jorg. Hello. Gret. Bless bless you. There's Clara. There's Ursula. Hello, Magdalene. Ah, so sad I failed to instill the whole being curious about the olden ways in you as Andreas. I should have told that story about the giant. Hello, Peter, Magdalene. Oh, the... What are you two cooking up? I like how their faces just scrunch up and just go away. Screw off. Go away. Eh. Clara, hi. I want to drag up some old memories. Hello, Magdalene. I would have thought you'd be working on the mural today. Mural? What brings you here? I would like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion, so that I can paint it, if that's all right. Ah, that was a sad time. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes, I will answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalene. A little bit. Of course, Magdalene, we'll tell you all that you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months now. Come now, sit with us. And pick up something to do? Sure. Now that you're all settled, what exactly did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. He sure did, or we sure did. We tried our very best to get to the bottom of things. I'm still not sure that Lucky is actually the one who murdered the Baron. And I haven't been wanting to look it up either because, you know, spoilers. So, but it feels wrong, and I'm just still assuming the motive to innocence, that the Baron had something to do with that. Sounds like a mother and child, either born child or unborn child, that Lucky knew. First I thought maybe it was his wife, but he was married to Agnes, but it could have been his first wife, or it could just have been his daughter. I don't know. I wanted to know more about that situation, but we handled the Lucky situation very poorly. We kind of immediately accused him of, you know, being a bastard, or, well, not being a bastard, but holding something back from us. So maybe it should have been a little more, just a little kinder, a little gentler, a little softer. Oh well. Yes, Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper. Sorry. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Oh. Oh. Oh, poor Agnes. Lucky was a strong man. She is still heartbroken over the matter. Yes, it was really only after the Baron's murder that the abbot became so severe. I'll bet he blamed the Baron's murder on Tassing and the Abbey's failures too. I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude towards us became harsher after that. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? You know, I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. Yeah. Did they storm the Abbey unprovoked? I mean, yes, I guess they did. They kind of did storm the abbey and lock the brothers in, and the abbot. And that's why the Landsknechts had to be called in. So I guess so, but... was it worth all... I mean, what else would they have done? Sometimes you just have to stand up for yourself, and it kind of sucks that that happened, but sometimes you have to. Ooh. Bad for the persons, but was it worth all the loss? That feels like a very insensitive question. Oh no, you did that. Was it really worth it, you bastard? It almost feels like you're pushing the blame on... No. We'll go with this one. I thought the peasants stormed the abbey unprovoked and the Landsknechts had to be called in. And that's not how it happened. Oh, he wasn't there at all, was he? Who are we talking about? He's just some well-to-do noble who hates the idea of peasants having anything. Ah, now, Ursula, let's not be unchristian in the matter. There were so many other revolts going on at the time, and Kiersau was not an uninfluential abbey. Sin abounded on all sides, and I won't deny that many mistakes were made that night, but... we did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. Well, maybe you did everything you could, but the peasants did storm the abbey. And I guess they did try to keep it non-violent from that until the end, with the whole Lenhart protecting Guy situation, Guy who was skimming from money from the abbey. When he shot Peter. No, he tried to shoot Peter, but Ulrich stepped in and got shot instead, and then Peter, presumably, I didn't actually see it. I guess he died in the battle with the Landsknechts. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like that. No, because at one point you were allowed to forage in the forest. All was fine until one of the brothers killed Otto in retaliation for finding out just how corrupt the abbey was. Did Guy actually kill Otto, though? I'm still not sure about that either. He definitely had the strongest motive because we believe, still no hard evidence, we believe that Otto found out that Guy was stealing money from the abbey. That would be a very strong motive for Guy to kill Otto to keep him quiet so that he could continue stealing money. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. And that's kind of the problem with justice, isn't it? Because if you have two sides, justice looks, not always, but can look completely different for both sides. What one side would consider justice, the other side might consider unjust. There are actually very few times when you have one true justice. Except for certain crimes. You probably all know what kind of crimes, or can imagine. But even then, in those kind of crimes, I'm not even gonna mention them, some people think you can never go far enough. And, well, so yeah, there's never really one true justice. You're just gonna have to try and do the best. When that soldier arrived and threatened us, all the townsfolk pulled away, except for you and Ulrich, Gret. No, Clara, I'm afraid even I was intimidated and begged Ulrich to leave the matter be. My husband alone stood with the peasants. Could the revolt have succeeded if the townsfolk didn't pull away? That's laying blame on the townsfolk, really, but so we don't really want to do that. Always talks about how he regrets that choice. Desperate people sometimes do very desperate things. We are here to try and... It's either this or this. Yes, let's try and dig deeper. Let's find the underlying reasons here. Why did all the peasants revolt anyway? So many people died. They must have known it wouldn't succeed. Yeah, Father Gurno was a harsh lord. His rules and taxes left many of the families starving. By then, we were so starved and wanted justice so much, Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. We sure did. We sure did. And that fucking Miller protected that tonsured bastard. He always hated us. Thought he was better than us. That's kind of true. Ursula, language. Ah, what, Mom? It's true. Lenhart even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. He was trying to shoot Peter, but Ulrich stepped in and saved Peter. It was unprovoked. Because they had just surrounded the mill. They hadn't actually done anything. As far as I can remember, Lenhart initiated it. After that, the mill burnt down. It was unprovoked? Yes, Lenhart always did hate the rest of the townsfolk, and he would take advantage of anyone he could. And he would fuck anyone he could, too. As long as they were women. Even if they were married, he would fuck them. Oh, my husband sought peace to the last. He was a martyr to us. I think the miller shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. You kinda know what happened, but not exactly. We had lost too much. Oh, the burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died in that fight. But we got rid of the abbot and all the monks at least. Yes, and that is some comfort, if only a little. Are there any heroes of Tassing that I should memorialize? Dad, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey and the mill. I hope you can portray him in the best light, Magdalene. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope that we provided enough insight for your work. You did, thank you. I'll let you get back to work. Even if they didn't, thank them for their time. Thank you, Magdalene. I'm certain that the mural will be beautiful. It might be. Depends on what we actually end up depicting. That took 4 hours. Well, it's only noon, so sure. Sewing costumes. I sat with Clara, Ursula, and Grit and helped them prepare costumes for the Perstenlauf tonight. They had a lot of bad memories from the revolt. It's not surprising since Clara's husband led it and was killed after he set fire to the abbey. Okay. So he did die there. Well, he had died somewhere. Now we need to go talk to Agnes. We need to find Washlav. They are probably either at the church. No, probably not the church. Most likely at the Golden Hand Inn. Right? Alright. Yes, here's Agnes, and there are all the rest. So I guess we go to Agnes, and then we go to the Golden Hand Inn. But we're doing that next time, leaving this little episode of Pentiment right here. As always, thank you so very much for being here, for watching. I appreciate it. Please take care of yourself, and make sure to live the best life that you can, because you never know when it's just over. Laters.